Tony Canzoneri. Nice to be back to visit you, champ. What he accomplished as a teenager, some fighters don't do their whole career. I mean, he fought for the bantamweight title twice. He had a draw and he lost to Bud Taylor, to Terra Hoot Terra. And then he won the featherweight title as a teenager over Benny Bass. Tony Canzoneri beat 13 world champions, which is simply amazing. And he had about 170 fights, but he only had 44 knockouts. But the caliber of guys he fought, you can't just knock out some of those guys that were just so good. I believe he had over 1,300 rounds of boxing as a professional. What a young, tough kid and a great champion. I come here to visit Tony Canzoneri because I read so much about him, and I just want him to know that I appreciate what he did. And I want him to know that he's not forgotten, which he isn't. We have some flowers here for the champ. Certainly, he deserves at least that for all the joy and happiness that he brought to everybody. Rest well, champ. You're thought of often. God bless you, champ. Continue to rest well.
How many fighters' graves do you think you've visited over the years?
I've been to about 15 graves, approximately, and Abe Patel's grave is the one I've been to the most.
Oh, why Abe Patel's grave the most?
Well, I'm upstate in Monticello. I'm by Roscoe, New York, and I take my son up there to visit Abe because it's really in a very quiet place in the woods with bears and no cell service. And I know Abe doesn't get many visitors, and he certainly is a guy that they talk about today just as much as they talked about him years ago. One heck of a featherweight champion. Some of their stones are pretty dirty, like Abe Patel's and Terry McGovern. They're gone a long time. My son and I, Ryan, we go there and sometimes we put flowers. We go there, buckets of water and a brush. We scrub the stones and take the moss off. Because if the moss sits on a stone and the sun hits, it kind of stains the stone. So we spent over an hour and a half cleaning Abe's stone in October, and it really came out very nice. My son Ryan and I are here at Beaver Creek Cemetery to pay our respects to the great featherweight champion Abe Patel. Abe gave us many memories as he was the featherweight champion for 10 years, and we're here to show him that we appreciate all he did in the ring, and we still talk about him to this very day. Thank you, champ, and rest in peace. It's a great feeling I get just to go visit them. I mean, all the cheers and all the seats that they filled and all the people that appreciated all their fights, I just enjoy going there and thanking them for what they gave me and everybody else. I'm pretty sure it's brown. I know this could take hours to find the grave when I was in Puerto Rico. It took me hours to find the first Puerto Rican champion, Cisco Escobar. Here we are. We're here, email. Great guy. 6-time champion and one hell of a human being. A friend to all. Beautiful tombstone here. Beautiful stone. The first time I met Email was up at Times Square Gym on 42nd Street, Jimmy Glenn's gym. I trained for Jimmy Glenn. He retired at the time, and he was up there training fighters. And I was lucky enough for my first amateur fight to have Email referee my first fight, somewhere up on the east side in 60-something Street. I walked into Times Square Gym that day, and Jimmy Glenn asked me if I was busy at night, and I told him no. And he tells me, go upstairs, go to sleep, you're fighting tonight. So I went upstairs, tried to take a nap, but was too nervous. Went to a church somewhere in the Upper East Side and fought there, and Emil Griffith was the referee. And what an honor to have a 6-time champion as the referee for my first amateur bout. Every time I met Emil, it was strictly boxing. I don't think any of the boxing people that weren't his personal friends ever got into his personal life. Of course, Emil Griffith was boxing in New York, and we had him right there in the 5 boroughs. Emil Griffith says that he killed a man and everybody cheered him, and he loves a man and everybody hates him. Well, as far as I know, Emil Griffith, he loved everybody. Everyone that greeted him, it was a warm hug, hello. He was loose as a goose in the ring, and basically everywhere he went, people knew who he was, and they respected him. Okay, Email, I'm taking this one with me. You're always with us, Email. You cared for everybody, and everybody still thinks of you. All right, champ, good seeing you. Everybody still talks about you.